So I think we can start now. Let's start on today's topic. Is a topic that it bugs me. I see people, they don't know who they are. They cannot explain who they are. When I ask, well, tell me a little bit about yourself. They can't. They can't articulate who they are. They can't articulate their value. So the topic today is: do you know your value? So many don't, and I'm going to put it out there. I bet that 80% of the learned senior executives or aspiring business leaders across the world that I network with or have or my clients don't know their value. And how sad is that? So that's why I'm one of the reasons why I'm doing this seminar, and there are many other seminars scheduled. So welcome to everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I am Martin Buckland. I'm an executive career coach, a career coach, personal brand expert. I hold 18 certifications in coaching and many in resume writing. And I'm one of the few people that work globally. So I'm a good, close partner, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, to executive recruiters. And I have a huge database. Just here in Canada, I have a database of 80,000 directors and above in Canada. So we're going to dive into this crucial topic. Do you know your value? So many don't. So in the next 45 minutes, I hope we'll jointly explore and go on a journey why understanding your value is crucial, is essential. As I said, I'm astounded on how many learned business professionals cannot understand or articulate who they are, let alone their value. Each one of you listening today has a value, and you need to identify that. So how to identify and articulate your unique value proposition. This can be like treading on glass if you don't know how to convince people, and you don't want to mess it up, because you only get one chance to articulate your value to whatever audience that is. So you need to be confident and bold, and use your body language if you're in person to relay your value. So I'm going to share some strategies for confidently communicating your worth. And tact and diplomacy plays a huge role in this articulating your value, and set techniques to avoid underselling yourself. So let's begin by addressing a common issue many business professionals fail to grasp: their true value, often resulting in significant undercompensation compared to their peers in similar roles. So let me provide just one of many examples. I can keep you busy here till breakfast tomorrow morning on examples, but let me provide you with one example. Late last year, I worked with a VP of IT from a tier 1 Canadian bank. He had been at this bank for 12 years, which is 6 years tenure more than you should today. And that's another topic of conversation. You should now consider moving, not being one employer more than 6 years. But in my father's generation, it was perfectly acceptable to be in with one employer from the day you graduated out of high school, college, or university to the day you retire. Not today. And executive recruiters are looking for you to move every 5 to 6, 7 years maximum. So I asked his salary and was flabbergasted on how low it was, even with a bonus and few other minor trimmings. So I'm not an expert in salary, but I did know what he should be earning, and it should have been between 40 to 60K more than the person who carries the same position at a competitive bank. So I checked with another client working with a competitor tier 1 bank to uncover that they were earning $55,000 more per year. Well, you work that out. You don't need to be a mathematician to work that out on how that accrues over many years and how much money he or she was losing. So you need to, that is a lot of money. So now the prime reason for his lower salary was and is his long tenure. So employers, and there's documents written about this. Employers now tend to take advantage of your loyalty by staying at a company over 6 or 7 years, and then they tend to offer you lower annual raises and bonuses and all the other trimmings that go with it than other banks, or if you were in that first 5 to 6 or 7 year tenure. So I as a career management practitioner encourage you to move around every 6 or 7 years. 7 years is the max. So as a sidebar, there is now no loyalty to employers anymore. You're not. When I first writing resumes 31 years ago, I used to put the word loyal in a resume. I haven't put the word loyal in a resume for many years, 15, maybe 18 years, because you are loyal to yourself, to who you are, not to your employer. So your employer, never let your employer manage your career. This is going off topic a little bit, but I want to resonate it because it's very, very important. Your employer can terminate you anytime. You're just a dollar value on their general ledger. Okay, so you need to manage your career. You need to embrace career management because we are facing uncertain times. And my network, which is a very powerful network, senior economists throughout the world are pasting a negative forecast for the next 3 or 4 years. So it seems even more important from today onwards that everybody now manages their own career. Don't let your employer manage your career. You manage your career. So you could be terminated today, tomorrow, or next week. Mondays and Tuesdays are normally the termination days. So the value gap, understanding the problem. Too often professionals miss out on literally tens of thousands of dollars over their careers due to the lack of self-awareness and their inability to articulate their worth. This, as I call it, value gap, occurs when you don't fully understand your unique skills and experiences. You are unaware of market rates for your position. I just gave you one at another tier 1 Canadian bank, and I can give you many more. Or you lack confidence in negotiating your compensation. Now, I understand it's a tough slog to negotiate compensation, but it's a must. You don't. Money isn't everything, but you need to be compensated for your value. And as I've stated previously, your tenure has been too long, over 6 years. So you need to understand exactly who you are and what the value is. So I'll give you an example. I teach at the CPA, the Chartered Professional Accountants, and they all consider themselves bean counters. Yes, they do count beans, but they also, every one of them sitting at the desks in front of me is different. And so you need to understand, well, what difference one person sitting in front of me here, next person sitting in front of me here, next person sitting in front of me here. We're all with the same designation, but they have different skills. So you need to articulate that, you need to define that, you need to understand that, you need to and document that on your LinkedIn profile and your resume, your CV, depending on where you are in the world. So as a business professional, you are essentially a product. I'm a realistic coach. I don't mess around. I don't put any fluff when I do coaching. You are a product, and you are sending that product to the job market if you are looking for a new job or you are in career transition, i.e., unemployed. But you should always be looking for a job. So my philosophy is the day you land your next, and this applies even more today, has done it since the beginning of this year for reasons which are pretty clear to us all in the world. The day you land your next job is the day to start your next job search. I know that's tough to swallow, but that's my philosophy as an executive career management practitioner. You should always manage your career. And I've got some topics on my YouTube channel, and I will be presenting on that in a few weeks' time, another LinkedIn Live. So you are a product. So you need to know yourself inside and outside, and ask people what they think of you. So you're going to get some negative opinions, but that's okay. You need to embrace negative opinions, because you can turn a negative into a positive. You need to understand what employers are willing to pay for your skills. They can sometimes go out of various pay barriers or pay levels if you put on a good business case. It's all about putting on a good business case. So you need to effectively market yourself to potential employers, and you can market yourself. LinkedIn is a perfect platform for you to market yourself as a subject matter expert or thought leader. You can navigate through that and narrow it down by posting, and that's a whole nother topic of another presentation. So how do you identify your value? Well, you need to do a self-assessment. You can articulate your value. You need to identify it. Let's explore some of the key areas. So your skills and your experience. What skills do you have and that others don't have? So everybody has that. You've accrued skills over the years as you've gone through your career journey, and you need to document those skills. And then what achievements? We all have different achievements, and you're going to be hired today because of your achievements. You're not going to be hired because of your responsibilities. You're also going to be hired because of your skills and your unique promise of value, but not basically your responsibilities. So your achievements and your results, and you need to show them on your LinkedIn profile. You need to show them on your resume and your CV. And I'll answer the questions. Hold fire for the questions. I mean, you can still put them in the feed, but I will answer them at the end if you don't mind me waiting for a little while. So what are your unique experiences? We all have unique experiences. What industry knowledge do you have? Have you been a speaker at your industry association or your designation association, chapter or region or nationally or internationally? And that's another way to get your name known, is to volunteer for speaking gigs. So and what are your soft skills? What different soft skills do you have to your competition? So you need to understand them, and your personal attributes. And then you need to embark on some market research. So understanding your worth also requires knowledge of industry standards. So use salary research tools to benchmark your position. Now, I'm going to run through a list I've created of salary research tools. So hopefully some of you got a pen and paper and you can jot them down. So my key research tools that I use extensively for my clients, or recommend to my clients, and I'm now recommending them to you, is Glassdoor, glassdoor.com. And this website is relatively new. I'm going to say in the last maybe 8 to 10 years. Provides detailed salary information based on employee reports, company reviews, and job postings. So you can filter by company, job title, and location. It's very sophisticated. It's a great website. And then the next one is, I think it's the grandfather of them all. It's been around for many, many years since the advent of the internet. payscale.com. And that offers salary reports based on experience, skills, location, and other factors. It's also a salary calculator to help you get customized insights. The next one is Indeed, Indeed, which is also an aggregator, a job board aggregator. So it's known for job postings, but it also offers salary research tools where you can view salaries by job title, location, and company. The next one is, and this has been around a long time, salary.com. It provides salary data for a wide range of industries and job titles. It also offers compensation data tools to help you negotiate salaries and benefits. And then LinkedIn has salary insights. So linkedin.com/salary. This allows you to research salaries based on your network's data and can filter by jobs title, location, and company. And then ZipRecruiter, ZIP recruiter.com, has a salary research tool that aggregates salary data from a variety of sources, showing both median and range salaries for different jobs. And then if you're in the US, there is the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, .gov, and that's the government's official source providing comprehensive data about occupations, industries, and trends. And then international and specialized tools to help you also. Robert Half, one of the big recruiting companies or firms across the world, they have their own salary guide and for various industries, and that's updated annually. And then Randstad, RANDSTAD, also another big recruiting firm. They have their comparison tool. So Randstad salary comparison tool that allows you users to compare their salary with market averages based on job title and location. And then finally, there is the Hayes, another recruiting firm, offers insights into salary trends and hiring practices. So you need to consider factors like location, experience, and company size. For instance, the executives in, let me use my home country here right now, in Toronto get paid more than they do in Regina, Saskatchewan. But they were doing probably the same job. But that's the location, their experience, and of course the company size. And you need to network with peers to gain insights into compensation trends. So I would encourage you to if you have a designation or an industry conference, you need to attend those conferences, not just to learn from the speakers, but to network with your peers, to find out, to probe, to find out what they're, over a beer or two or whatever, you can find out their salary by being very subtle and tactful and diplomatic. So then taking the next step, how do you articulate your value? So you need to craft a value proposition. And this can be complicated, and it can be very time-consuming. But remember, you only get one chance, so you have to get it right. So you need to refine it, need to practice it, you need to share it with others first before you actually go to market with it. So your value proposition should be clear, concise, and resonating, a memorable statement that communicates your unique worth to an employer. And what should it include? Well, it should include your key skills, your experience or your expertise, your differentiator. So what makes you stand out from everybody else? It should be factual. So if you could put some metrics in there, your currency value or percentiles, and should be because we're in the age of fact checking, sadly. So it should be factual, and it should have those quantifiable achievements. And then you can also use your annual appraisals to support your proposition. So if you've recently had an annual appraisal last year that was outstanding, and they indicated they were really happy with your tenure and your work, then there's valuable. You can put some of the text from that appraisal in your proposition. So and then how you can solve employers' problems. So even in good times, good economic times, every company, every entity has problems. They're probably experiencing a lot more problems, and as we go deeper down, there'll be probably a lot more problems. So how can you solve a problem that you uncovered or that is being articulated across the enterprise and that you believe you can help them resolve? Save them money, make them money, streamline operations, introduce new systems, processes, practices, eliminate headcount, things like that. The list goes on and on and on. So don't ignore your soft skills. While technical and hard skills are important, many people overlook the value of their soft skills, such as their communication skills, their teamwork, their ability to excite and empower and charge a team, and their emotional intelligence. So these skills can often be built into that differentiator, your value proposition, and differentiate you in the workplace, and should be factored into the overall proposition, the business case that you are going to present. So thank you, Mark. So in short, it's a business case. It's a factual business case. Don't get around it. It's a business case. You can't afford not to fall. The bricks are going to come tumbling down if you don't have a good, sound, compelling, factual business case. So do your research and be confident in your delivery. So practice that delivery with friends or with a family or somebody you have trust and faith in, or practice it in front of the mirror. Or with today's cell phones, you can put it on a stand and you can actually do a video, and then you can critique your delivery. And that's the way you learn, because you want to be powerful. You want to. It's not the top of everybody's list to do this, but it's a necessity today, and it's going to be. I see as we slip further down, it's going to be even more a necessity. So you need to understand because you need to save your job probably. So not just what the value is going to be is changing. You probably need to you might need to save your job, because I can see, well, just an example, this week in the Greater Toronto area, which I'm very familiar with, normally 1,600 people are laid off each week. 4,500 people have been laid off so far this week that I know of. So I bet you can add that to a lot more. So that gives some indication of where we are going globally. I'm not just talking about Canada. I'm just giving you some statistics on Canada because I know them very well. But I can see this. My business I've had to take my phone off the hook because so much business is coming in. So you need to have a good, sound, robust, strong business case. So you don't need to be modest, but you don't want to be boastful. So get a happy medium on where you want to go, but don't be boastful and don't be modest. The reason why I'm doing this is too many people are humble and they're too modest. And this is not a time to be modest. You have that value. That value is worth it. And that value can bring you in the right situation, happiness, and a lot of extra dollars, euros, pounds, or whatever, AED, or whatever you want to use. So being too modest, I think I did okay this year, but I'm sure others did just as well or better. That's not a really good statement to have, okay? I think I did okay this year, but I'm sure others did just as well or better. Don't be like that. That's too modest. Don't be humble. And then being overly boastful. I'm the best at what I do and made all the difference in the team's success. That may be a bit over the top, OTT, but you have to get a happy balance, a balance that you feel comfortable with, and the balance that you think your audience, so if you're going to be presenting to your boss or your boss's boss, feel comfortable with. So have a balanced approach that highlights specific accomplishments without diminishing the contributions of others. Then don't overlook your future potential. You need to look from today onwards, not from today backwards, except document from your career history backwards. So some individuals focus purely on their past accomplishments without considering their future value and their growth potential. So include plans for skills development and career progression can enhance your perceived value to employers. I'm noticing a rebound. Well, no, sorry, let me take that back. Prior to this year, prior to the last few weeks, I was noticing a rebound across the world in employers' ability or understanding for them to fund certain academic qualifications or designations, whereas that funding had really dropped off a lot in the last, I'm going to say, 14 to 18 years. Now, prior to this year, prior to the last few weeks, it was bouncing back. So part of your value could be to ask for if you wanted to do a particular designation or wanted to do a particular course, you could go through the catalogs of all the business schools across the world. It could be to your value to put a proposition that they fund or co-fund or part fund, whatever you want to call it, a designation. Doesn't have to be a fully blown degree. I'm a global expert in EMBAs. If you have the ambition, I would highly, highly recommend an executive master of business administration. It's going to be a complete differentiator if we go plummeting down into issues regarding the global economy. But it can be a diploma, it could be a certification, it can be just a regular course. And if you are, let me just go off topic a little bit. If you are in North America or the Americas, I would suggest you select a course, an online course. You don't even have to attend these days. Since the advent of COVID, there are tons of courses you can do online. So even degrees, although I think degrees, you need to network in person degrees. But anyway, they do have online degrees. You can, if you are in the Americas, I would actually promote you to go and look at universities like the University of Said Business School, University of Oxford, Judge Business School. the University of Cambridge, London Business School. And they have some excellent courses. And then vice versa. If you are in Europe or the Middle East or Asia, then look at the courses from business schools here in North America, because to get that on your resume and get that on your LinkedIn profile, again, is a differentiator. So you need to, all these things mount up. It's just a little thing, but it actually could be a big thing. It could be between you and if you're in job search, it could be between you and another candidate. If you've got a degree from Oxford or Cambridge or course or diploma or certification or whatever from Oxford or Cambridge, because in North America that really gets the mind going. But that's another topic. I could talk about that for a long time. So don't overlook your future potential. So here's an example, a knocked down example of a value proposition. As a marketing manager with 7 years of experience, I've consistently increased ROI by 25% year over year through innovative digital campaigns and strategic partnerships. My ability to lead cross-functional teams and adapt to rapidly changing market conditions makes me uniquely qualified to drive growth for ABC company. That's breaking it down for the sake of this presentation to the basics. You need to have a little bit more, probably need to triple that. But that gives you some idea. Needs to be powerful, but you need to emphasize now in all your propositions the way the market is turning. Okay. I won't tell you what I've heard, but it's not good for the future of employment. So you now need to hang on to your employment, and you need to do everything you can to manage your career. Going back to what I talked about earlier, you are in charge of your career, not your employer. So communicating your worth. Again, confidence. You need to have that confidence. So you need to, when you're discussing your value, you need to have assertive language, powerful, memorable language. Maintain positive body language and poise. Practice your delivery, as I expressed a little bit earlier, with a friend, coach, or ex-colleague, to ensure clarity and confidence. And be willing to accept that constructive feedback, even if it's negative, because you can turn that negative, you can learn from that negative, and you can shuffle it into a positive. So you need to embrace negativity and learning. It's a learning thing. We all have. I have negative. You have. Everyone listening today has negative. You might not want to hear that, but I know you do. Then you need to be able to cope with handling those objections. So be prepared, because you're going to get objections. They're not going to say, "Oh yeah, I'll just give you 50,000 or 60,000," just like that. It's going to go. There's a set process that you have to go through, or whatever. But if you've got some substantive facts that your equivalent at a competitor is earning 50 or 60,000 more than you, or two competitors or three competitors, that's even adds to your proposition. That's even better. So handling objections. Oh, the worst one are going to be, oh, we can't afford that salary, or other candidates are asking for less if you're in job search. That's above our budget for this role. That's where other trinkets, if you want to call it, add-ons like bonuses, cell phones, pension and benefits, courses, education, academic designations will come into play, will help you. So the negotiations process. So always aim to get the employer to name a salary first. And then, if pressed, provide a well-researched salary range. And then consider the entire compensation package, not just the salary. So I've got clients who make more on their bonuses if they perform than they do on their basic salary. And then be prepared to walk away. Walk away if the offer doesn't reflect your worth. As I say, you, everyone listening today is in charge of their career, not the employer. And if you walk away, what does that tell the employer? If you're a valid employer or you're a valid potential candidate, you're the number one candidate, that might tweak them into changing their mentality, their mindset. So avoid these common pitfalls. Don't undersell yourself out of fear. Fear can really affect your emotions. Don't let fear take grip of you. Eliminate that fear. And that's where you need to articulate, maybe have a coach or maybe have some friends or acquaintances and get rid of that fear. Get it out the door. And then avoid accepting the first offer without negotiation. So when you're accepting a job offer, when you're new to a job, when you've got a job offer, employers generally expect you to go back for more. But you always start off high and then you can go low. You can't go low and go high. Okay? So don't focus solely on salary. Consider all the other trimmings, benefits, and growth opportunities. So in conclusion, remember that knowing who you are, your value, is not about being arrogant. It's being confident in your abilities, your who you are and what your skills, what your differentiator is, what your brand is, and ensuring just we're asking for no more than a fair compensation for your skills and your experience. So by understanding your worth, researching the market, the rates, and confidently communicating your value proposition, you can avoid being undercompensated and take control of your career trajectory from this minute forward. Hopefully, I've changed some people's mindsets as a result of attending this webinar. So thanks for attending. I do have another webinar next week, and I can't remember even what it is, but I will be posting it to LinkedIn by the end of today. I have a series of webinars, plus every Tuesday at 2, I come on 2 p.m. Eastern time, my Tuesdays at 2, and then I have career tips for a crazy world, Monday, 9 a.m. and Friday, 2 p.m., all Eastern Standard Time. So come on, let's have some questions. So let me answer. So I used to ask candidates, what your boomerang fact? Okay, this is Mark. What's so different and valuable about you that when I am done, these interviews is going to force me to meet back to you? Candidates need boomerang facts. That's great input. Thanks, Mark. That's really good. So Maxim, how would you recommend to answer your salary expectations questions with many recruiters? Oh, hang on a minute. It's flipped. Many recruiters demand you to answer. Well, you're in Spain, I would see if you can leave it. I would be very tactful and diplomatic. I would say, I'm talking about the value I can bring skills-wise and expertise-wise and my differentiator right now until we get to the crux of the negotiations, maybe in the next interview, when you see me as the perfect candidate, the number one candidate. And then is I believe is the time that we can knuckle down and talk compensation. I hope that answers it confidently. So Simon, thank you very much. Alazar, the resurgence of investments in designations or education. Where does one find a source they can reference? Well, me. There you go. I'd be happy to help you. I mean, I know most designations that are for specific. I think you're in logistics, from what I remember. Well, one of the many designations in logistics is CPIM, PLOG. There's many, CI, I can't remember them all, but but I'm more than happy to help you. And there are some universities, Al-Azhar, they have certifications and even degrees in supply chain. So I can help you with that. So let's have a call sometime. So please clarify the 2 days and times when you will be online every week. Okay, so let me run through it. Take a week. So they're all Eastern time. So every Monday at 9 a.m., I come on and talk about a different topic relating to career management. I'm actually concentrating right now on interviewing. And then on Tuesdays at 2, which I think next week will be number 215 or 216, I come on and talk about something else relating to executive career management, but it's still related in this session. This theme is interviews. And next week I'm talking about a particular, I can't remember, one of the questions you're going to be asked in an interview, one of the common questions, and how to answer it. And if you go, Ravi, to my my YouTube channel, please press the subscribe button. And there are, I think I'm up to a video number on Tuesdays at 2, video number 7. So there are 7 Tuesdays at 2 answering different common questions on interviews. And then, so that's that. And then I will be having another seminar. I can't remember whether it's Wednesday or Thursday next week at 9 a.m. I think it's March the 5th. And then, you will find that on LinkedIn in a few minutes after this conversation, after this seminar. And then always at 2 p.m. Fridays, I have another career tips for a crazy world, where again tomorrow I will be concentrating on a different topic relating to interviewing. But if anybody wants a video shot on a particular topic that's bugging them or they don't understand, please email me. I'm going to put my email on the screen here. I did put it up earlier on. Let me just see. Yeah, there we go. Martin@analyteresume.com. I'm more than happy to shoot a video for you on any topic that relating to career management. Doesn't have to be related to today's topic at all. So I'm ready for any other further questions. Yeah, please subscribe. There are over 700 videos on my YouTube channel, and I have a lot more coming. So please go to my YouTube channel and press the subscribe button. If anybody wants a free, no obligation, no sales pitch resume or a CV critique, I'm more than happy to give that. So there again, please use my martin@analyteresume.com address and send your resume, your CV to me, and send 3 days and times convenient to connect over Zoom for 30 minutes, and I will go through your CV or your resume from top to bottom. But I do say it as it is. And I'm an honest coach, and one mistake today with that ATS, that applicant tracking system, and you're gone. Okay, one character wrong, one line wrong, one bullet wrong, and you're gone, even though you may be the perfect candidate. So anybody want a free, no obligation resume critique, please send it to me. But also in the body, just mention that you were on this seminar today. Dominic, comment, confidence and clarity are key both ways. Yes, thanks, Dominic. That's great. I would also recommend candidates tell recruiters that market value would be a starting point for a salary requirement. Yes, that's good. Excellent. It's a good input here. Xenia, how best to support a candidate who is on the brink of entering the executive sphere, where they do not really understand if they are ready to move to an executive role, like a manager or director, maybe out of fear or not understanding their capabilities. Okay, so that really boils down to your experience and your confidence in articulating your value again. Bear in mind that all leaders had to start at bottom. That you can't start at the manager, you can't start at the director, you can't start at the VP level. All leaders today have started at the bottom. So they've all taken that same journey as you. So you have to be bold. There comes a time if you've got that ambition, that drive in you, and that's what I support. If you're an aspiring business leader, you're a perfect client for me. You need to get to learn how to get to that level, and there are various steps. And confidence. It's confidence and being bold, but don't be over bold. So anybody got any further questions? How did I do today? Did you gain some valuable information? Hopefully you did. This will be actually on my YouTube channel. So if you've got some friends who've missed it, some acquaintances, some colleagues who've actually missed it, this is actually being fed to my YouTube channel. And you can view it there. But I will be presenting again, I guess 4 times next week. And if anybody wants anything to do with executive career management, I'm more than happy to do it on any topic. But on top of my full presentations next week, I think I've got 6 or 7 to business schools as well, and other entities across the world. One's at 3 a.m. So, but I love articulating or sharing the executive career management gospel according to Martin. So there we go. Perhaps that wraps it up. Thanks for attending today. And I hope to see you next week. Go on LinkedIn about an hour and a half, and I will put it on. I can't even remember I should have had it in front of me, what next week's topic is. But I will see you hopefully next week. Spread the news. I'm more than happy to give anybody a free, no obligation resume critique. Go to my YouTube channel, press the subscribe button and the bell button. And hopefully I will see you again on one of my future LinkedIn lives. Do something today to manage your career. Just network. Just introduce yourself to one person that is building your executive career management strategy. See you next week.